fight, dominated. This young Thai kid that just came in France, Panamarung Kiat Mukau, he came in and just left kicked one weapon, shut down an aggressive punch to low kicker. Just one kick, left kick, left kick, left kick. And these guys have been fighting for so long, it's fighting to them. Fighting at the end of the day is still fighting. So these Thai guys who are following traditional Muay Thai are still being very successful in kickboxing. One of the biggest, Buakaw. That guy dominated.
Yeah, Buakaw's a great example of it, and still around too. Sanchai is really interesting because he's.
Did you watch his Glory fight?
Yes, I did. Yeah, he's fun to watch, man.
Oh yeah, tricky, slipping. He'll fight big guys, small guys. He put a whole social media campaign to fight Conor McGregor.
In MMA?
Yeah, I think so.
Does he know how to wrestle?
No, I don't think so.
Well, good luck with all that.
What's your thoughts on Conor and Floyd? That's a big thing right now. Could that even happen?
It could happen. Yeah. Floyd is, again, the best defensive fighter ever. And, in a straight boxing match, you got to give the advantage to him. You just have to. You have to.
Definitely.
Traditional wisdom would say that he's going to box Conor's face off. That's sure. You would look at it. You would look at what he's been able to do. But Conor's a fucking freak, man. He's a weird guy. His mind is so fucking strong, and he eats pressure. He just eats it. Like when he stepped into that ring with Jose Aldo, he looked like he didn't have a care in the world.
No, he's just that confidence and that belief, man. It's just
staggering.
The roof.
And he had talked so much shit for so long, and Aldo was just fuming. He was steaming at the brain when he got in there. Oh, he was so emotionally invested in that fight. It was almost like he had never been disrespected like that. And to be disrespected for months. I mean, they had done this huge world tour where Conor stole his belt at a press conference and was yelling at him. And all. I mean, it was madness. And then to have the fight, and then Conor starches him with one punch 13 seconds into the fight. Like, wow.
Yeah. That stirred up a lot of attention. Man.
Obviously, Floyd is not Jose Aldo. Floyd is, it would be a boxing match. In an MMA match, Conor would fucking kill him.
For sure.
He would kill him. He'd kick the shit out of him.
Different.
It wouldn't even be close.
Totally different.
Floyd would never get close to him. Conor kicked his fucking legs out from under him.
Every time.
Yeah, it would be brutal. But in a boxing match, one thing that Conor's got going for him, he's a way bigger guy. I know he fought at 145, but Jesus Christ, he looked like a dead man when he made 45.
Oh, yeah. His shoulders are broad. Like,
He's walking around at 170-ish, somewhere around then, and I don't think Floyd is. Floyd is a smaller guy than that. And again, what you were saying about with kickboxing, I think the same holds true with boxing, that those fighters, they're not cutting the kind of weight that MMA fighters are cutting. So I don't know what they would weigh in at. I would assume it'd probably be like 155, somewhere around there. And then once they got into the octagon, or the ring rather, it would be a boxing match, Floyd would probably have a disadvantage weight-wise of somewhere around 15 pounds.
Yeah, no. I can't see it happening.
But if they did, Floyd, look, Canelo had a big weight advantage over him in that fight too, and Floyd shut that shit down.
Yeah.
He's so good at boxing, man. He's just so good. He's so skillful.
The more I follow and train and learn boxing, it's something I wish I started a lot earlier on in my career. It's like you only have two weapons, and you all of a sudden have to make this complex strategy through creating openings, and with kicks you have a whole other dimension, elbows, clinch. But with boxing, man, you got two fists that you have to make land. It's tough, man, and I get why it's called the sweet science.
Now, when you are training, are you sparring?
Right, I do, but I make sure I spar with the right guys and that kind of thing, but I still do spar.
And are you worried at all about getting hit when you're doing this?
Yes and no.
Yes, and you just love it too much?
I just love it, man. I'm not stupid, and that's the last thing you could ever call me. I do everything very calculated, very smart. So if I know there's an issue, I slow it down. Or if there's an aggressive guy, but I still spar, and I still start very controlled, and I could pick it up if I want. It's just, why was the question sometimes. Like, I don't need to get in there and have those sparring matches where I'm trying to take the guy's head off. It just doesn't make any sense.
Well, obviously the consequences for you are so much more obvious and intense, knowing what you've been through. I mean, is that in the back of your head at all while you're doing it?
Sometimes. What's your take on these fighters taking a new approach on not sparring anymore?
Well, Donald Cerrone is taking that approach, and it seems really effective for him. But I think part of what's doing well for him, I mean, obviously, he has excellent timing. Obviously, he's very experienced as a fighter already, and he likes to stay active. But his take on it was that he was beating himself up too much in the gym, that he was sparring too many hard rounds, and he would go into these fights already damaged, and he just couldn't take shots.
Well, that's the philosophy in Muay Thai. They don't really spar hard in Thailand. It's
Right.
because they fight very often, too.
Right.
But if you're not fighting very often, would you need that sparring?
It's a good question.
I think there's stupid sparring, and then there's quality sparring. I think there's so many different ways to spar. If you're constantly going in there and you're trying to slug it out and getting sloppy, that's not good sparring.
Right. It's
but
terrible.
you can get a good guy that kind of really sets his shots up really good, goes hard to the body on low kicks. When I spar my guys, we're trying to take each other out with body shots and low kicks. Like, if I finish my training partner to the body, I feel like the king. You know what I mean? I walk around, I'm just like walking like I own the place, man.
To the body.
To the body, low kicks. Those are okay, but you don't need to finish guys to the head in sparring.
Right. That's the Dutch way, right? They would go 100% to the legs and to the body.
Speaking of some of the Dutch guys, like Jason Wilness, who's fighting,
Yeah.
his coach was telling me they do somewhere along the lines of 50 rounds of sparring a week.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Like, again, I don't know how intense or the type of shots, but they rely a lot on sparring.
Well, Wilness's fight with Simon Marcus, what a fight that was.
Eesh.
Jesus Christ,
Eesh.
that was an amazing fight. And Simon Marcus looked so fucking good in the beginning
the
of
first
that fight.
round.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God, he was just exploding. But it seemed like he drained his gas tank.